Hey crafters, and welcome to my second crochet pumpkin video. We'll get to the tutorial for this project in just a second, but if you haven't seen my first crochet project video and want to know what inspired this project, be sure to click that link in the cards. Also, I want to say thank you so much for getting me to 20,000 subs. That is a huge milestone, and I really am so grateful for y'all's support, and I'm excited to keep creating content and see how this channel grows. Alright, let's learn how to crochet this adorable little pumpkin. So for this pumpkin, I'm once again using this discontinued yarn from Hobby Lobby. But here's the info on the yarn. It's a weight 3, and I'm again using a 3.75mm hook. Of course, you can opt for any weight 3 yarn, or you can even go with larger yarn and a larger hook size to match. So let's start by making a slip knot, and then we're going to work this project in the round, and specifically we're going to spiral. So to start, I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And then go back to my first chain and slip stitch in that to form a ring. This is my preferred method for starting in the round, but you of course could use the magic circle or something like that if you prefer. So for round 1, I'm going to start by chaining 1, and then I'm going to work 6 single crochet into the ring that I made. And I like to wrap that tail around so I can work around it and then cinch up my start. But this is my first single crochet in the ring, second single crochet, third single crochet into the ring, fourth single crochet into the ring, my fifth single crochet, and my sixth single crochet. I've worked 6 single crochet stitches for round 1. Now for round 2, I'm going to work a single crochet increase in every stitch, which basically means work 2 single crochet in every stitch. So this is the first stitch of round 1 right here. I'm going to work 1 single crochet in it, and then a second single crochet. And then at this point, I like to use a stitch marker to mark the first stitch of every round so I know exactly where I'm at. But I'm going to put 2 single crochet in every stitch from round 1, and once I'm done with round 2, I will have a total of 12 single crochet stitches. So that's round 2. Now for round 3, we're going to have a repeating pattern. We're going to work a single crochet increase, so that's 2 single crochet in the same stitch. This is 1, and this is the second one in the same stitch. And again, I'm going to place my stitch marker in the first stitch of the round, and then in the following stitch, just work a normal single crochet. And we'll repeat that around 6 times. So a single crochet increase, so this is 1, and this is 2 in the same stitch, and then in the following stitch, just 1 single crochet. Single crochet increase, 1 and 2 in the same spot, and then a single crochet. And I'll repeat that all the way around till I have a total of 18 stitches. For round 4, we again have a repeating pattern. In my first stitch, I'm going to work a single crochet increase, so that's 2 single crochet in the same spot, so that's 1, and this is 2, both in the same stitch, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, so 1 in its own spot, and our second one in its own spot. And then that's what we repeat around, so a single crochet increase, so this is 1, and this is 2 in the same spot, and then 2 single crochet each in their own stitch. So 1 in its own spot, and second one in its own spot. I'm going to repeat this around, and after round 4, I'll have a total of 24 stitches. Round 5, we once more have a very similar pattern. We're going to start with a single crochet increase, so 1 single crochet and 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Then we're going to work 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. And then repeat all the way around. So work a single crochet increase, so 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, this is my second single crochet, this is my third single crochet, and I'm going to repeat this all the way around, and at the end of round 5 I will have 30 single crochet stitches. Round 6 is where we start to change things up a little bit and start creating the pumpkin shape. So in my first stitch, I'm going to work a single crochet increase. So this is 1 single crochet and a second single crochet, both in the same spot. And then in the next stitch, I'm going to work another single crochet increase. So this is 1 and this is 2, both of those stitches in the same spot. So we work 2 increases, and then in the next 3 stitches, I'm going to work a single crochet in each of them. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to repeat this around. So we'll do 2 single crochet increases. So this is my first increase where I'm working 2 stitches in the same spot. Then my second single crochet increase where I'm working 2 single crochet in the same stitch, and then 1 single crochet in each of my next 3 stitches. So this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. I'm going to repeat this all the way around, and at the end of round 6 I will have a total of 42 stitches. Now for round 7, we're going to continue creating the shape of our pumpkin. We're going to start with a single crochet. So just work 1 single crochet, a normal single crochet in the first spot. Then in each of the next 2 stitches, I'm going to work a single crochet increase. So I'm working a single crochet increase in this spot. So this is 1 and 2 single crochet in the same spot. Next stitch, again, work a single crochet increase. So that's 1 and then 2 stitches in the same spot. And then I'm going to work 1 single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So this is 1, this is 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to repeat that all the way around. So start with 1 single crochet, then we're going to do 2 increases. So I'm going to put 2 single crochet into this stitch right here, and then 2 single crochet into the stitch after it. So this is 1, and this is 2 in the same spot. Then to finish up the repeating pattern, we're going to work 1 single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So this is my second single crochet here, my third single crochet, and my fourth single crochet. And I'm going to repeat that pattern around a total of 6 times, and when I get done with round 7, I will have a total of 54 stitches. So I finished round 7 and now it's time for round 8. Again, we have a repeating pattern. So this round is going to start with 2 single crochets, each just worked in their own spot. So this is my first single crochet in its own stitch and my second single crochet in its own stitch. Then I'm going to work 2 single crochet increases. So this is my first increase where I'm working 2 single crochet into the same stitch. And this is my second increase, again, working 2 single crochet into the same stitch. Then in each of my next 2 stitches, I'm going to work 1 single crochet. So this is 1, this is 2, and then to finish up the repeating pattern, we're going to single crochet the next 3 stitches together. And like with my previous pumpkin, I randomly decided to use the invisible decrease. So if you're not familiar with that, what we're going to do is we're going to insert from front to back, bottom up, however you want to think about it, under just the first strand of the next stitch, so just the front loop. And then I'm going to repeat that on every stitch I'm working under. So because I'm working 3 stitches together, I'm going to repeat that under the next 2 stitches till I've picked up a loop from 3 stitches. So going to the next stitch, again, come from bottom up, under just the front loop. Go to my next stitch right there, and come from the bottom, the front, however you want to think about it, and go up, and catch just the front loop of that stitch. So I've picked up the front loop of the next 3 stitches. I'm going to yarn over and pull that loop I yarned over through the front loop of those 3 stitches, and then yarn over and pull through 2, and that's going to be the invisible decrease with a single crochet where I'm joining 3 single crochet together. And now we repeat the pattern. So really quick, you might not be quite sure where to go next. We already worked in this stitch here with that decrease. So this is our next stitch. So right in the next stitch, I'm going to work a single crochet, and I'm going to work a single crochet in the following stitch as well. Then the next 2 stitches, I'm going to work a single crochet increase in both of them. So this is my first single crochet increase, so working 2 single crochet in a stitch. and my second single crochet increase, again working 2 single crochet into the same stitch. Follow it up with 2 single crochet, so just each in their own stitch. So that's 1, this is 2, and then to finish up the repeating pattern, I'm going to do that invisible decrease where I single crochet 3 together. So go under the first loop of the first stitch, go under the front loop of the second stitch, and under the front loop of the third stitch. Then yarn over and pull that through those 3 stitches, then yarn over and pull through 2 to finish the decrease stitch. Again, I've already worked in this stitch right here, so this guy is my next spot to work. So I'm going to do 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, then 2 single crochet increases. So this is 1 and 2 single crochet into the same spot. My next increase, again working 2 single crochet into the same stitch. Follow it up with 2 single crochet, just each in their own spot. So that's 1, and this is 2, and finish it up with that decrease. And again, we're single crocheting 3 together using the invisible decrease. So come under the front loop of the second stitch, and under the front loop of the third stitch. Then yarn over, pull through those 3 stitches. Whoop, I kind of lost it there. So that's yarn over, pull through those 3 stitches, yarn over, pull through 2. And I'll repeat that all the way around, and you'll have a total of 54 stitches at the end of round 8. Moving on to round 9, we're going to start by working 3 single crochet, each in their own spot. So this is my first single crochet, second single crochet, and third single crochet. Then in each of my next 2 stitches, I'm going to work an increase. So this is my first increase, so 1, 2 single crochet in the same spot, and an increase in my next stitch. So again, 1 single crochet and 2 single crochet, both in the same spot. Then I'm going to work 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, and then I'm going to do that invisible decrease where I single crochet 3 stitches together. So just like we did on the previous round, where I go under the front loops of those 3 stitches, yarn over and pull it through those stitches, then yarn over and pull through 2, that works the decrease. Now this round's a little bit different because the repeats don't quite line up quite the way we want them to. So when we started this round, we worked 3 single crochet. We do that for the first repetition, but for all the remaining repetitions, we're going to work 2 single crochet after the decrease. So I'm going to work a single crochet in each of my next 2 stitches. So that's 1, this is 2. And something to help you make sure you're on track is that second single crochet will be worked in the first stitch of the increase from the previous round. So right here, that's the increase, and that second single crochet was worked in the first stitch of the increase. So that's a way you can know you're on track. But then to continue the pattern, we work 2 single crochet in the next stitch, so that's that single crochet increase. So 1, and this is 2. Then single crochet increase in the following stitch, 1 single crochet and 2 single crochet in the same spot. Then 2 single crochet, each in their own space. So this is 1, this is 2. And then work that single crochet decrease where we decrease 3 together. So 1, 2, 3, going under the front loops of those stitches, yarn over, pull that loop through those stitches, yarn over, pull through 2. Now I'm going to work this around almost to the end, but there's a little tweak to the end that I'm going to show you, but it's going to be the same basic idea. We just kind of have to make an adjustment at the start and end of each round, but it's really not too bad, and I'll show that to you in just a moment. So I'm finishing up round 9 here, and let me show you what I mean by the end being a little bit goofy. So I've just worked my second increase here. So then after the increase, we work 2 single crochet, each in their own spot. So 1, and then 2. And now to finish the round, what I need to do is work that single crochet decrease across the next 3 stitches, but that third stitch is the first stitch of round 9. So basically what happens is we're going to work the decrease in the last 2 stitches of the previous round and in that first stitch of round 9. So basically I'm going to go underneath here with my hook, 1, 2, And I'll pop this guy out. And then 3 right there. And work that decrease the same way we've been working all along. And this decrease is going to count as the final stitch of round 9. So now for rounds 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, we're going to repeat what we did for round 9. So our first repetition is going to start with 3 single crochet stitches versus the normal 2 after a decrease. So I'm going to work a single crochet in my next spot, and I'm going to put my stitch marker in the top of that and count that as the first stitch of round 10. So that's 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So just at the beginning, I'm going to work 3 single crochet before the increases. And once I work those, now I can do the increases. So 1, 2 in that spot, increase in the next stitch, 1 and 2. And then after the increase, work 2 single crochet. So 1 and 2. And then to finish up the repetition, I'm going to single crochet the next 3 stitches together using the invisible decrease. So that's the first iteration of our pattern, but for all the remaining ones, we're going to work 2 single crochet after the decrease and before the increases instead of 3 like we did here. And when we get to the end of round 10, we're going to have the same situation where the 3rd stitch we work the decrease in is going to be the first stitch of the round. But we're going to do exactly what we did when we finished up round 9. I'll show you for round 10 just so you can see that again and really get a feel for it. But we're going to do that same process for rounds 10 through 14. So finishing up round 10, showing you kind of that goofy thing that happens at the end of the round. I've just worked my second increase, so next I need to work a single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So that's 1, this is 2. And then next up I need to do that single crochet 3 together. So I pick up my first loop, pick up my second stitch, but then that 3rd stitch is the start of the round, and we're just going to work in there anyways. So insert underneath there, front loop, complete the decrease, and that decrease counts as the last stitch of round 10. So then when we start round 11, we're going to start with those 3 single crochet instead of the normal 2, and we'll let that first single crochet count as the first stitch for round 11. So I'm going to repeat this process and work through round 14, and then I'll show you how we start closing up the top of the pumpkin. So I'm finishing up round 14. The last thing I need to do is work that single crochet 3 together, and again I work under my first stitch, second stitch, and the 3rd stitch is the first stitch of the round. And I'm just going to work in that stitch regardless. And pull that on up and work my decrease. So that's going to count as the last stitch from round 14. And now for round 15, it's time to start closing in the top of our pumpkin. As a quick note, if your pumpkin currently looks like this, that's okay. Once we stuff it, these are all going to pop out and we'll get the good pumpkin shape. So don't worry if it looks a little goofy right now. But for round 15, we're going to start with 2 single crochet. So 1 and 2, and I'm going to put my stitch marker in that first single crochet, and we'll let that count as the first stitch of round 15. Then after those first 2 single crochet, I'm going to decrease by single crocheting 2 stitches together. I'm again going to use the invisible decrease, but only go under 2 stitches. So under the front loop of this first stitch, which I did a little bit tight, there we go, and under the front loop of the second stitch. So going under just 2 this time, and then I'm going to single crochet these 2 together for my first decrease, and then I'm going to do a second decrease. So go under just the front loop of the next 2 stitches, and then single crochet those 2 together. And then I'm going to work a single crochet in each of my next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. And now my pattern repeats. 2 single crochet, so this is 1, this is 2, and then I'm going to decrease my next 2 stitches together using that invisible decrease, and I'm going to single crochet 2 together, And then do a second decrease. So again, going under just the front loops of the next 2 stitches, single crochet them together for my second decrease, and then work a single crochet in each of my next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to work that all the way around, and at the end of round 15, I'll have 42 stitches. Moving on to round 16, we're going to start by working a single crochet, followed by 2 decreases, and again with the decreases, I'm working 2 single crochet into 1, and I'm doing that invisible decrease. So that's my first decrease, and then work these next 2 stitches together for my second decrease. And then the pattern wraps up with 2 more single crochets. So 1 and 2. And then repeat. So single crochet, followed by 2 decreases where each time we're single crocheting 2 stitches together. So earlier we were single crocheting 3 stitches together. Now we're going to single crochet just 2 stitches together. So I'm going under the front loop of my next 2 stitches for my second decrease, and then finish it up with 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. And I'm going to repeat this all the way around, and at the end of round 16, I will have 30 single crochet. For round 17, we're going to again start with just 1 single crochet. Then we're going to follow it with just 1 single crochet decrease. So we're going to single crochet the next 2 stitches together. So going under both of those, and then work the decrease, and then follow it up with 2 single crochet, just each worked in their own stitch. So this is 1, and this is 2. And that's the pattern we're going to repeat around. So single crochet, followed by single crochet 2 together, so that invisible decrease across the next 2 stitches, and wrap up the repetition with 2 single crochet. So this is 1, and this is 2, and at the end of round 17, you should have 24 stitches. For round 18, we're going to start the round with a decrease. So we're going to decrease across 2 stitches, again using the invisible decrease. So go into the front loop of those next 2 stitches, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through everything. That decrease is the first stitch of the round. And then I'm going to follow it with 2 single crochet. So 1 single crochet and a second single crochet. And then repeat. Work a single crochet 2 together, so that invisible decrease. And then work 2 single crochet. So this is 1 and this is 2. And I'm going to repeat that all the way around, and at the end of round 18, I will have 18 stitches. So I just finished round 18. At this point it doesn't look like much, but now we're going to stuff it and it's going to fill out and get all the pumpkin ridges in it. So when I stuff, I like to pull my loop really big so it doesn't unravel. Again, I'm using polyfill. I'm honestly not a fan of it just because I feel like it always ends up pretty lumpy, but that's what I have on hand to use today. So I'm going to stuff it, and as I stuff it, I'm going to kind of pop out all around, and we're going to get those nice pumpkin ridges. Look at that. And of course you can stuff it as much or as little as you like to get your desired level of stuffness, firmness. I guess firmness is the word I'm looking for. And be sure to work it to the bottom so that the little ridges along the bottom pop out, and also work it in the top here so that way the little nubs along the top don't go flat. But now I've got it stuffed to my desired level of firmness. We've got those nice pumpkin ridges all the way around. So let's finish crocheting it, fill out in the top, and add the stem. So now for round 19, we're going to start the round with another invisible decrease. So work that across my first 2 stitches. And then yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That's my first stitch, that's my decrease. And when you're working these stitches, try to be careful that you don't catch the filling and pull it out because it can pop through your work. Then after the decrease, work a single crochet. And that's all there is to the repeating pattern. So work that invisible decrease across the next 2 stitches, underneath those front loops right there. Finish that stitch. And then in the next stitch, work a single crochet. I'm going to repeat this all the way around, and at the end of round 19 here, we will have a total of 12 stitches, and we're also going to change color at the very end. So I'll show you how I do that when I get to the 12th stitch. So I worked my last decrease, all that's left is a single crochet, and so when I work this one, because I know I'm going to change color here, I'm going to insert my hook in the top of the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop like normal, but then I'm going to stop. I'm not going to complete the stitch. Then for the stem on this pumpkin, I'm going to get to this green section, so I've got to unwind a bit here. And I want to use this green section here, so I'm going to cut my yarn. And in my stem color, I'm going to make a slip knot. And then put that slip knot onto my hook and size it down to the size of my hook. And then the old color that I had on here, I'm just going to trim that off and leave a little tail. So now to finish up this stitch with my new color, I've just sized the slip knot down to the size of my hook, and I'm going to pull that loop on through my 2 loops that were on my hook to finish that stitch. And then I like to pull this loop down so that way my stitch snugs up, and because I'm a little paranoid about things unraveling, I like to tie these 2 tails together, and then I'll just tuck them inside of the pumpkin. And we'll just hide them down in there. So now I'm in my new color, which is my stem color. It's time for round 20, where we're going to work the stem. Now I'm going to work 12 single crochet stitches, but I'm going to do that same technique like I did on my first pumpkin, where I do these long single crochets, so that way we get a little bit more texture and kind of, you know, pumpkin stems, they kind of shoot down the side a little bit. Not really the side, across the top. But basically it's going to look like this to give it a more pumpkin look. So I'm going to pop this stitch marker out, and basically instead of working in the tops of stitches, I'm going to go down a row or 2. So for my first stitch, instead of working in the top, I'm going to go down a row and just insert through the side of my pumpkin, yarn over and pull up a loop. And when I pull the loop up, I want to kind of pull it to about the height where it would be if I were working just a normal single crochet. But then I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2 to work my first long single crochet. Then for my next one, again, instead of working in the stitch here, I'm going to go down 1, 2 rows, yarn over, pull up a loop, again kind of pull it up to the top of the stitch, and you can see here I caught some of the stuffing, so try to avoid that. Pulling it up, and then finish my single crochet. For my third stitch, again, instead of working in the top, I'm going to go down a row and work a single crochet. So it's a single crochet just like normal, I'm just changing where I insert the stitch. And if you don't like this look, you of course can just work single crochet stitches like normal. For my next stitch here, instead of working in the top, I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3 this time for a really long single crochet stitch. Again, I'm pulling, and again, I'm kind of pulling up to the top because if we pull it too tight, it'll kind of just make the pumpkin bunch down, but we want to leave it long so that way it creates that pumpkin-like effect. And then finish my single crochet. And I'm just going to keep working this around, staggering where I work my stitch and how far down the side of the pumpkin I go to create the cool effect for the stem. The important thing is that I work a total of 12 single crochet. That's really the only part that matters. You can go down as far or as little as you want with this technique. So I've worked 9 of my 12 stitches. I've got 1, 2, 3 left. Again, I'm not working on the top of them, but we'll go down a row or 2 each stitch, just kind of varying how far down I go to create that pumpkin stem look. This is stitch number 11. And this is stitch number 12. So I've worked my 12 stitches. Now for rounds 21 and 22, I'm just going to work 12 single crochet evenly around. So these I'm just working in the tops of stitches. So this is my first single crochet, and we'll pop the stitch marker in right there. Second single crochet, third single crochet, and I'm going to work 12 all the way around for rounds 21 and 22, and then I'll show you round 23 where we finish it up. So I've worked rounds 21 and 22. Each of those rounds are just 12 single crochet worked evenly around. Now we need to really quick stuff the stem a little bit, and then we're going to close off the top. So for round 23, we're going to do 6 invisible single crochet 2 togethers. So basically those single crochet decreases, but this time we're going to change it up and work in just the back loop. So normally we were working in the front loop. This time we're going to work in just the back loop. So go under 1, go under the second one as well. It's a little goofy. Once you get those on the hook, then yarn over and pull through the 2 stitches. Then yarn over and pull through 2. And I'm going to do a total of 6 of these. So this is my second decrease, again, working in just those back loops. Work that decrease. That's my second one. I'm going to work my remaining 4 and then I'll show you how we stitch it all together. So I've worked my 6th single crochet decrease and now I'm going to fasten off, but I'm going to leave a nice long tail because we're going to use this tail to sew the top closed. I'm going to thread my tail of yarn onto a tapestry needle, and now I'm going to do a whip stitch all the way around. I'm going to work these in just the back loop and come from the outside to the inside. On my first one I'm going to go under this spot right here and then kind of cinch it down. Go to my next stitch, go under that back loop from outside to inside, right through there, and cinch it down. Go to my next stitch, under the loop from outside inward, cinch it down, go underneath that back loop, cinch it down, and work this all the way around. It's going to look a little goofy at first, but then it's going to all come together. Make sure you cinch pretty tightly each time. Right now it looks a little goofy, but what we want to do is we want to kind of push down on this so that those front loops that we didn't work in when we did the decrease round, so that way they're kind of along the top edge. Then to deal with this little bump, I'm just going to go down, kind of across it, and then out the side. And I'm just going to kind of cinch that down a little bit, and that'll kind of flatten out the top. So hopefully that made sense what I just did there. Basically, I seamed it closed, cinched it closed, and then I kind of just sewed around that little nub that was left and tacked it down. And then I'm going to just go around some stitching on the side and tie a knot. And then I'm going to go just through the top of the pumpkin to hide that tail, kind of just pull it in there, trim it off, and now my pumpkin is complete. And a quick note on the stem, you can make it as tall or as short as you want. I just prefer the short stem look versus too tall. And here's how this little guy turned out. I think these are so cute and they don't take too long to make at all. Of course, you can go for more traditional pumpkin colors, but even with the crazy color scheme that I used in this video, I still think these are so much fun. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and let me know if you like this project by leaving a thumbs up on the video. Happy crafting!